All right, let's rip into this. I did graduate high school. I went to high school during Columbine. Not at Columbine. Clearly. That's what I'm talking about. Columbine was this thing where these teenage boys in Colorado were really angry because they liked girls and the girls didn't like them back. So they went and listened to a bunch of Marilyn Manson, bought some trench coats, and shut up their high school. Which is crazy, shitty, selfish. I mean, no girl I've liked has ever liked me back. And I would never go buy a fucking trench coat. Have a little bit of self-respect, you know? Go out, buy yourself a pair of Jenkos and no fear shirt. Go home and masturbate to poorly photoshopped nude pictures of Britney Spears, like the rest of us. No fear. No fear. Second place is the first loser. He who dies with the most toys still dies. No fear, because Socrates' shoes weren't going to fill themselves. So, I digress. Every school in the country wanted to prevent the next Columbine. So they were putting security measures in place. A lot of places had armed security guards. Some places had metal detectors at the doors. My school decided to do a scared straight program. That's where they bring prisoners and inmates in from the local jail to try to scare you into not going to jail. And here's the thing. Nobody planned this out. And it was basically a bunch of like 250-pound ripped hard motherfuckers with face tattoos and shit roaming around our school with nobody policing them. It was awesome. Occasionally you had like the middle-aged white dude who's just like, I got this. Hey there, Buster Brown. You're doing a great job. And it would be really fly of you to not use the N-word as much. High five, right? So they were supposed to talk about drugs. They did. Drugs are awesome. Here's where you can buy them. What's that? Oh, you can't afford them? Here's how you can make them. So crafty. Like the Martha Stewarts of jail. Oh wait, that is Martha Stewart. But the best guy was the hardest guy there. And he gets up and he goes, you think you tough? Ain't nobody tough in jail. I seen the toughest man suck a dick! I swear to God, this is a real fucking thing. And the faculty was like, shit. Kind of gives a whole different meaning to scared straight. Like, I'm a firm believer that nobody can change your sexual preference, except for that guy and Paul Newman. So but the scared straight program didn't resonate with me because these guys were from a different socioeconomic background. I was a little bit more fortunate than them. I couldn't see myself making the same life choices and mistakes. So, scared straight failed, right guys? 6 years later, I get a call from my friend John, and he says, do you want to go to a NASCAR race? Here's the thing. I think NASCAR is really stupid, and I actually don't really know anything about it. So I was like, yes, let's do this, because being the smarmy little fuck that I was, what better thing to do than just cast aspersions on the working class via, from my unemployed punk rock throne. So I go to this race, and here's the thing. It was kind of awesome. Because a NASCAR race is about this much of it. You get down there early in the morning, and you pull into the parking lot, you tailgate all day. You open up the back of the truck, get your grill out, and you grill every meal. You make up new meals, you grill. You meet all your neighbors, you play games with them. You're just surrounded by an endless sea of awesome music like the Allman Brothers and CCR. It's seriously great. And I sat there and I was like, wow, I can see myself doing this. I could really see myself doing this. Then I got into the NASCAR race. A NASCAR race is the longest, loudest watching paint dry you have never fucking seen. It is 4 hours of... If you're lucky... They always have to replace the racing tires in the cars because they wear down over the course of a race. You know where all that rubber goes? It goes right into your fucking mouth for 4 straight hours. It is awful. On top of that, it is so loud that you need to wear those earmuffs that hunters wear so that they don't blow their eardrums out. Which makes it really hard to have a conversation with the person next to you. Which, by the way, was really too bad because guess who was randomly sitting on my right? The grossest, fattest, just worst piece of shit with his shirt off. And that's saying a lot at a NASCAR race. Oh, did I forget to mention he had a full Aryan Brotherhood white power chest tattoo? SS bullets a-blazing, man. And that's when I'm looking, I'm like, what, how, where do you even, I've never even seen anybody with, I've only seen these on TV programs about jail. And that's when I realized this was my scared straight. This was my scared straight. Back when I was on that fateful day in high school, the principal was like, Chris isn't getting it, put him on the extended program. 6 years later, I'm sitting here next to Rush Limbaugh's inner demon. It starts off so innocently. You know, you wake up one morning, you're like, I'm gonna have some hot links for breakfast. You know, you play a little cornhole with your friends. You listen to some 38 Special, you know, some Molly Hatchet. The American fucking dream. You know? Next thing you know, you're in jail because the cops caught you dealing meth to your neighbor's kid. They didn't catch you diddling your younger cousin, but the Latin Kings found out, and now you gotta color up. 7 to 10 years and a lot of painful blowjobs later, you get out of jail, you go right to that racetrack where it's permanent hearing loss, Goodyear dentures, and why are you eating your nachos with a fork and a knife? They ain't let me use utensils in 10 years, see Kyle. It just doesn't seem worth it, guys. All right, thanks, guys. I'm Chris Calabrese.